here's a statistic for you that may or may not surprise some of you. 1 in 10 kids in this country will be diagnosed with ADHD. And for educators and us parents, knowing what it's like to have the neurobehavioral disorder can go a long way in helping kids cope with it themselves. So we brought in Ray Booth, who is co-owner of Brain Balance Achievement Centers in Eagle, and Ava is with us this morning as well to talk a little bit about this. And you're also going to give us a hands-on demonstration to illustrate ADHD. So Ray, thanks for being with us this morning. So talk a little bit about ADHD, and I know that your Brain Balance Centers deals with a lot of other things, but specifically you're talking ADHD right now.
Right. October is National ADHD Awareness Month, and so it's a fitting time to talk about this problem that affects so many of our kids. And I think it's very misunderstood because so often we think these kids are just not trying hard or that they don't care, but in fact they are trying very hard, but they have a brain that is immature in some parts, and that's what makes it difficult for them to do things that are easy for the rest of us.
So it really does help. It helps parents, I think, empathize, and educators to understand how their brains work, right?
Yes.
So that's the point. That's why we brought in Ava.
Right.
Ava, good morning. Thanks for being with us. So you're going to do a demonstration for us, or kind of an exercise that will demonstrate how the ADHD brain works a little bit, right?
And this is something that a parent could do to help other siblings understand, or teachers could do to help other kids understand. Ava is my granddaughter, and she's not ADHD, but I'm going to give her a task that'll probably make her feel like she's a little ADHD.
Okay, Ava, are you ready? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So this is her pretend locker at school. And Ava, if you'll help me open this up. Okay. And you'll notice that it's a little bit messy because that's typical for ADHD kids. And Ava, what I want you to do is I want you to find the green pen and write "My Little Kitty" in the notebook. And then I want you to find the bubble gum and get 3 pieces out. And I want you to put those pieces in the glass case. And do it as quickly as you can, because we don't have very much time this morning.
You're right, we have about 45 seconds.
Yeah. And
is that a
are you out of school today?
Yeah.
How come you're out of school? How are you coming there? Are you getting it done yet? Just find a marker.
Light green or green?
Did you hear it's supposed to snow today? Or maybe tomorrow? What do you think will be the first thing that you do if it snows? Ava, you're not making very much progress. You doing okay? So let me just ask you, Ava, what's it like to be trying to do so many things and listen to me at the same time?
And I already forgot the instructions.
Right.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it's like for an ADHD child, because they don't know what's the most important thing they're supposed to pay attention to at that time. And it sounds like everything is coming at them at once.
Yeah, and it was a lot coming at you, wasn't it? Did you feel like that when he told you what to find and then kept asking you questions? Was it a lot? Yeah, but you still managed to do a little bit, didn't you? You found a couple of them. Good job.
Good. Found us a piece of gum.
Yeah, and hey, we like gum here on the morning show too, and green marker. All right, and Ray, you're not done. You have a second example, Ava, thank you, coming up that involves a balance beam a little bit later,
We're going to demonstrate the kinds of things that we can do with ADHD kids, basically to shape up their brain so that they can function more like the rest of us.
Interesting. All right, well, we're looking forward to that.
We're talking more about a segment we started earlier this morning on Good Morning Idaho. Ray Booth is here from the Brain Balance Achievement Centers in Eagle. We appreciate you coming in this morning so early.
To be here, Spencer.
Your granddaughter Ava as well, which you're a rock star, by the way. Earlier we had a demonstration where you kind of gave us an idea of what it's like for people who have ADHD.
Right.
Kind of just helps us sense what it would feel like. And now we want to talk a little bit about what you can do to help those who do have ADHD.
Right.
And you brought there's some pretty high-tech stuff looking here that Ava has on, right?
Yes. So Brain Balance is a supplemental learning center. There are a chain of these across the country, and we've just opened one here in the Treasure Valley. And we work to help kids with problems like ADHD, Asperger's, dyslexia, sensory motor processing problems.
Not just ADHD, a whole range of them.
Right.
Okay.
Because depending on the part of the brain that is immature, different symptoms can emerge. So in Brain Balance, what we're doing is we come at it from 3 different directions to help develop an immature brain. One is, that Ava's going to demonstrate, is what's called sensory motor stimulation.
Okay.
The other 2 is when we do actual academic tasks and also work on nutritional factors that are really important to a healthy functioning brain.
And you've been telling us the, on average, depending on the person and what they're struggling with, about 12 weeks. These programs that they can get in at Brain Balance to gain some help with that. Correct?
Many kids with ADHD can achieve resolution of those issues in as short a period of time as 12 weeks.
Wow, and that's pretty amazing when you think about the difficulties that we saw earlier in the show with that messy locker and everything.
Right.
So you brought in some stuff to kind of tell us what these are. You talked about the motor skills that we're working with.
So Ava, we're pretending like she has a problem on the left side of her brain, and the wiring crosses so that the left side of the brain goes to the right side of the body. So we're doing things here to stimulate the right side of her brain, or excuse me, of her body, using all of her senses. So you'll notice that she has this little blue shaker creates vibrations that uses her sense of touch. She's on her headphones, we're targeting her right ear. She's wearing these funny glasses that block out the left side of her eyes, so she's only using the right side.
She has to look to the right. Okay.
And then also, Ava, I'd like you to stand on your right foot for me. Would you do that? Now, this is kind of tricky. So she's also balancing, so we're using all of her senses to stimulate and grow the left side of her brain. Because the brain is just like a muscle. When you stimulate it, you can grow it and make it stronger and make it work better.
Wow, and you also brought in this balance beam. Tell us quickly how that works as well.
So as Ava gets better at this, then we make it a little more challenging. So I might have her stand on this balance beam on one foot, and she has to maintain her balance on the beam instead of just on the floor. So we keep making it harder and harder because we want to strengthen and grow those weak parts of the brain until they catch up with the rest.
Wow, so it's not just physical, but it's really the exercise for the brain as well while she's doing these exercises.
Exactly.
It's such cool stuff, and you actually have some opportunities for parents to hear about it too. Just briefly, you have a couple times a month where parents can get some education on this, correct?
First and third Thursday of each month at our center at 7 o'clock, we have a free parent education session. We talk to them about the underlying principles of brain balance, how they can tell if their child fits the pattern for brain balance interventions, and then how we can do the kinds of things that we were demonstrating here with Ava for their child.
Which is very important to know if you can recognize it first of all. Thanks so much for showing us this. This is great information for all you parents out there. We appreciate you, Ray, for coming in this morning.
Welcome.
Rachel?